Hello! You already save a lot of money every year thanks to our videos, so save on car parts too. Buy them on the Mr. Auto app. Shipping is free.
You will find the bulk brake discs and brake pads used in the video exclusively on the Mr. Auto website and through the link in the description. Turn your engine off. Pull up the handbrake. Pull on the bonnet release lever and open the bonnet. Open the brake fluid reservoir. In order to change the brake discs and brake pads on your vehicle, you will have to raise the front of the car and take off the wheels. This will provide you with full access to the required area. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels, raise the front of the vehicle and put it in the 2-axle stands. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. You will then be able to take off the wheels. Don't forget to slide them under the vehicle. Turn the disc outwards. This will facilitate the process. Insert a flathead screwdriver to the outer extremity of the oblong hole located on the front of the brake caliper. Lift it off using the screwdriver as a lever by pulling it towards you. This will then push the piston in. Ensure that you have pushed the piston in as far as possible before moving on to the next operation. Using a flathead screwdriver, lift the holding spring on the pads, then take it out. Make sure you keep a finger on the spring during the operation to avoid it jumping out. Using a thin flathead screwdriver, remove the caps covering the caliper mounting bolt. Using a socket wrench, a socket bit and a 7mm Allen bit under the 2 caliper mounting bolts. Remove the caliper. You can now remove the pads. You can now remove the brake caliper and place it on one of the coils of the shock absorbers. To unblock the disc, insert a thin flathead screwdriver that can slip in between the 2 sides of the disc. You have to insert it in front of the brake caliper mount so that it butts up against the latter. Using a T40 Torx socket, undo the 2 screws that hold the disc. Withdraw the screwdriver. Depending on the state of the nuts on the brake caliper mount, it may be necessary to use a hammer to loosen them. Using a T-handle and an 18mm socket, loosen the first 2 screws that fasten the brake caliper mount.
Please support us. Subscribe and like the video, that will be really cool.
Finish removing the disc holding screws and take the disc off. Sometimes the disc may get stuck on the hub. If this happens, use a hammer to remove it. You have to clean the hub with a wire brush. Coat it with copper grease. This will help avoid deterioration caused by oxidation and aid with future interventions. Take the new brake disc. Before installing the new disc, it is vital to clean it using brake cleaner and paper towels to take off the storage paraffin. If your new disc is painted, you can place it directly onto the wheel hub. Place the new disc onto the hub and rescrew the 2 fastening screws by hand as much as possible using a T40 Torx socket. Using a wire brush, clean the brake caliper mount around the area where the pads will be placed. This will facilitate their installation. Put the brake caliper mount back on, screw in by hand to begin with, and finishing with a socket wrench and an 18mm socket to fix it completely. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Reuse the screwdriver technique to stop the rotation of the disc. This will allow you to fully tighten the fastening screws of said disc. Take the new brake pads. Coat the outside of the new pads with copper grease. Then, put the pad in place of the piston side on the brake caliper and then the other on the brake caliper mount. You can now put the caliper mount in place and put the upper bolt back on. Finish by tightening the lower screw on the brake caliper mount. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Put the caps back in place, clipping them in as you do so. Put back in place the holding springs of the pads. You can now repeat the operation on the other side. Put the wheels of your vehicle back on and lower it to the ground. Before starting your car, don't forget to screw the brake fluid stopper back in. Be careful. Before using your vehicle again, start your car and pump the brake pedal a few times to bring the brake pads together again. Try to drive smoothly and avoid sudden braking for the first 50 kilometers or so to avoid glazing the new pads. Operation completed.
Hello, if this video helped you, like and subscribe.